Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Stacy Bellward, the host of the Connected Families podcast. Welcome to our community. We are people committed to pursuing God's grace and truth for ourselves, and then daily working to pass that grace and truth on to our children. I'm so glad that you are here. Today is fun. About 2 months ago, we launched the CF community. It's a monthly or yearly membership. When someone joins, like you get access to all 7 of our big premium courses like Discipline That Connects and Sensitive and Intense and more. But also 5 days a week, you have access to a moderator and a community of parents who are all in it together. As well, we do a monthly live group coaching call. So today is an extension of that live group coaching call. We are going to do a mini episode today to give you a taste of what that live group coaching call looks like. So in order to do that, I need to have Katie Johnson on because she is the CF community moderator and a certified parent coach. So Katie, welcome to the show again.
Hi, Stacy. So good to be here.
So excited to do this and let everybody have a taste of what you've been doing inside the CF community. Well, we are in a content block around back to school. We know that it can be a time when fear and anxieties surface along with big emotions and outbursts, shifting schedules, transitions to new classrooms, new teachers, new peer group, the sports, the hustle, the spelling tests every week. There's a lot of pressure for kids and for parents. Isn't there?
So much pressure. And I know that in the CF community, parents have asked us what to do when the pressure cooker explodes. Kids bring home, like if you've taken the sensitive and intense kids, you've heard about the backpack analogy. They come home with a big, heavy backpack of all the things that have given them pressure throughout the day. And then it ends up in these big, angry, even aggressive, we've heard a lot of stories, outbursts with big, hurtful words. And it's aimed at parents because you're the safe person, you're the landing pad, you're the safe home zone. And what do? So Pam joined us in the community earlier this summer in June, and she had some advice and some coaching questions to help parents get through those painful moments. And she also gave ideas for helping our kids grow and just learning to express those feelings appropriately. So we wanted to invite Pam on the podcast to talk a little bit more about that today. So welcome, Pam.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We're so grateful to have you here, Pam, because we know this back to school thing is a deal, especially when the words get rough, like the word hate is thrown around and it gets tough. So Katie, why don't you set up some of the questions that the CF community have been giving around this topic?
All right. So I have sort of a mashup of questions that people have asked. And I kind of put it into this little story, and I'm going to throw this to Pam to field for us at what she would say, how she would respond. So let's say a parent is writing in and to ask for advice, and they say, I'm a mom of a 9, 7, and 5-year-old, and we have this recurring challenge in our home. Nearly every day when I pick up my child after school, he has an outburst. He gets in the car, he won't look at me or talk to me, and sometimes it's a challenge just to get him to buckle his seatbelt. He often kicks the back of my seat while I'm driving, and by the time we get home, I'm already exhausted. So if I ask him to unpack his lunch or put his shoes away, he'll yell, "No, you do it. I hate you," or something similar. I try to stay patient, but it's so hard. And often I find myself resorting to pressuring him with taking away his favorite toy. So what can I do?
Pam, what would you say?
Whenever I am approached with a question, I, not surprisingly, go back to the framework. And I start at the beginning. And so, wow, it is so hard to be a mom in this situation. What is going on in this mom? Oh, if somebody else were here, they'd do a better job. And in this situation, oh my goodness, I know that when I pick up my kids, it might be hard. So how am I coming into that? How am I going to stay calm? God, help me know my kids. Help me love them the way you love them. Help me to be present with them. How do I just take a few deep breaths before coming into it? Because I know that this might happen. So how do I come prepared? And realizing too that, wow, what an amazing opportunity it is to be a mom but also to that God uses our parenting and our struggles to heal us. And so this is hard, but God also uses it for our benefit and our growth. So as I come into this and I'm taking care of me and what's going on in me, what is my child needing? What need are they trying to meet? What are they trying to say with these behaviors that they're not able to say? Yep, they say, I hate you. They have an outburst. But what's that about? There's so much that goes on underneath what we do and what our kids do with the behavior. And so they've ended their school day. Are they exhausted? Wow, it's hard to have a school day. Are they hungry? They've been with people all day long. Do they need some time alone? Do they miss me? I'm their mom. Are they working on reconnecting? Some of these behaviors say to me they may need some way of connecting with their mom. And so how do we help them with that? In that, wow, the empathy that I can have. It's not just anger. It's not just an outburst. There's feelings going on. So how do I empathize with them? How do I wonder about what's going on? But then it might be saying something like, I wonder what happened at school today. Or with the I hate you part. I hate you when they get home. Helping them understand what they are actually saying. They're not saying I hate you. Young kids don't have the words to say, it was a really hard day at school and I'm really tired out. So it comes out, I hate you. They don't know how to say it. I don't want to unpack my lunch and put my shoes away. So they say, I hate you. So we can empathize, and at the same time, we can give them words and restate what they're trying to say. Ooh, it sounds like you had a really hard day at school today. Is that right? Or when you come home, you don't want to unpack your lunch and put your shoes away right away. Is that right? And so we can empathize. At that point, when they're going through the hard time, is not a time to do teaching. It's not a time to do correcting. What we want to do is we want to fix it right away. And yet their brains are not in a space where they can hear what we have to say. And so we can put that on hold for a little bit and just empathize and understand. We can help prepare them. Do they need some attention from us? How do we give that? Might they need a hug? Might they need just some space to be silent? We've come in and we've asked them, how's your day? And they don't have it to give and they just need us to be quiet. Or do they need a snack pack? And so we bring them a snack to school. So we can think through that and how to meet those needs at that time when it's hard.
I also wonder in there, Pam, do they need big muscle movement? Have they been forced to be too still all day? Do they need to go, on a bike ride, jump on the bike, or put a swing in the garage and they just start swinging before they even come in the house? Like, does some energy need to be expended before they can come down?
Right. And then looking at the coaching and correcting that come outside of that moment when we feel connected with our child, when they feel connected with us, how do we help them? And might that be doing some problem solving with them? Ooh, picking you up from school is really hard. What do you need? What can we do that would make it easier? And we try some things like bring a snack or big muscle movement when they get home before they come in and they have to unpack their lunch and put their shoes away. We make a plan for that. It might be telling a story about a child who's going through this kind of situation and they can hear it from a different perspective. And then we can ask some questions if they're open to that. And when we're able to do this in a way that's not punitive, that our kids really understand that we are there to help them, not to fix them, their shame level can come down. And when their shame level comes down, they're better able to accept it. And we can work through it. It's not something that happens and is fixed immediately, but it's a process that we can work through with our kids and build connection even while we are helping them learn how to do this hard thing.
So good, Pam. And then I think that you are responsible too. I remember having a conversation with my daughter, like as I'm modeling different words to say, then I'm talking to her about that. I'm giving her the tools to not say the I hate you or those kind of words. Like right? Because they're called and capable, they're responsible for their actions, but I want to teach them ways to speak that are actually representative of how they feel. And so when those words come out, it's immaturity. And I wanted to teach her the words that were respectful and still communicated where she was at.
I just want to say that's so good. How it looked for us, I would say, you can say, I'm tired. You can say, and then I would give them the language. And I would often just say, how could you? And then once we've practiced that, modeled that, given them the language, then sometimes at some point there will come a time when I could say, how could you say that differently? That would be respectful of me and true to how you're feeling. And eventually we're teaching them to make a different choice. And of course, we're modeling redos for ourselves previous to this as well. So they get used to the idea of having a redo in the moment without shame, and then you can see them learn to change the words before they come out in order to offer love and respect to the person in front of them, even when they're having a hard time. That's what we're aiming for. And over time, those little moments will add up and get you there really well.
I love that about the framework. I'm coaching my child and giving them the tools so that they can be responsible for their actions and their words in this case. Right. So good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pam, for walking that through the framework. I love to take an issue like this and just look at each level. How can we go back to this paradigm that we have and move through each of those stages so that we can have a plan for when this is going to happen in the future? Because we know it's going to happen again. And this really resonated with our CF community. We had a lot of positive response to this. This even resonated with parents of teens. So we're kind of talking about these younger ages in this example. But as with anything, when we're walking it through the framework, it can relate to your situation too. So someone who had teens said, sometimes it's hard to have empathy with the unreasonable anger. But if I can remind myself that there's another emotion that the anger is covering up, I would probably be able to empathize with that. Helps me to think how I need to stay detached from the hurtful words and behaviors that come with anger. So I think that's for everyone. There are so many people who are able to relate.
That's right. There was another person who commented, and I love it because you post the replays in the CF community. So she says, this one, meaning the monthly group coaching call, had to be my favorite connected family conversation so far. And she said, I had to watch it since we were out of town visiting family. So I just want to say that because it's such a great benefit to the CF community. If you can't be there live, you still get to watch it, you guys, and benefit from the conversation. Well, Katie and Pam, thank you so much. Katie, thanks for being the moderator of the CF community and just loving everyone so well. And thank you to Pam so much for being there and giving your expertise to the community. Thank you, Pam.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love doing it.
All right. Well, I'm going to have links in the show notes to Pam if anybody wants to connect with her. She is a workshop speaker and a coach, so we'll have the links there. I'll also have the link to the CF community. I got to have that in there. But I just want to thank you everybody for tuning in today. I think I maybe accomplished my goal, and that is making this a mini podcast. So high five to Stacy for that. I love it. If this topic is something that you've dealt with or you know someone, haven't we all had a child that said, I hate you? Forward it to a friend and share it with them so that they can hear about the Connected Families Framework and perspective of how to deal with that question. Well, Connected Families is a nonprofit ministry made possible by The Table and other donors. The Table is a group of people from around the world who are committed to Christ-centered transformation in families. Their monthly giving equips parents and caregivers with biblical and research-informed resources that cut the overwhelm and guide parents well. Would you consider joining us at The Table today? For more information about Connected Families, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or go to connectedfamilies.org. I will see you next time.